Hey guys, back with you with my second video of just Bible readings. As we know, we are in the book of Esther. Read chapter 1 last night, posted that. Got some good reviews and felt good about it, so yeah, wasn't too bad. So I think I'm going to continue doing it. So just to recap, we talked about King Ahasuerus. And actually, that is kind of how you pronounce it. I looked it up just to make sure I am sounding more efficient, you know. So I looked up how to say it in English, and it's either Ahasuerus or Ahasuerus. So either way you want to say it. So yeah, so we learned about King Ahasuerus just throwing a big party and then demanding that Queen Vashti come in and join the party, but as we found out that she denied it, she didn't want to come in whatsoever. So her tiara was taken away. She wasn't a queen anymore. That was taken away, and he became very angry, and started commanding the others go find other single women and bring them in, so he could see which one is going to be the next queen and be with him, because he was lonely and he wanted a woman by his side. But he didn't want women to be thinking, you know, we'll just do this to our husbands. So yeah, that's what we learned about. Just a little recap. Don't know why, but we're going to dive into chapter 2 here. And as I said before, chapters 1 and 2 are about Esther becoming queen. So this chapter is going to be diving into Esther and what she's all about, you know, because that's what the book's named after her. So just to give you a little insight of Esther, my study Bible says this. After 4 years of not having a queen, Ahasuerus became lonely and called for his people to create a beauty contest for him, just like the new queen. Being the king of 127 provinces, like I talked about in the last video, meant there would be a ton to choose from. But they set out on a mission and pulled together all the single women. I'm guessing that has to be a lot of single women in 127 provinces, so that must have been a ginormous beauty contest. Probably days on end. Back on track, sorry. One of the women was a Jewish girl from the tribe of Benjamin named Esther. Esther was raised in captivity by her cousin Mordecai, who was a very smart man. He knew that she had to keep her background a secret in order to remain eligible for royalty. An interesting thing to note is that even though Esther went against the Mosaic law multiple times, God still chose to give her favor and be used in amazing ways, as we will probably find out as we read. That's just a little insight onto what's going to happen in her life and what she's all about and where she's at right now. So I'm going to just dive into chapter 2 and just let you guys know a few things just to remember and take away from this. So yeah, catch you then. Okay guys, so a lot happens in this one chapter, chapter 2, when Esther becomes queen. So when the king Ahasuerus sent out for people to gather all the single women in the lands and all of that, Esther was known to be a very beautiful woman, and to everyone, they would always say how beautiful she was. But she lost her parents at a young age, so her uncle took her in, which was Mordecai. And so Mordecai heard about the king and his party searching for a new queen, so he brought her to his palace, and she waited until her term, because each woman would go in and have and go into the king's room and whatever would happen there. But yeah, it would happen a lot, but a lot of women would just keep going in. Then around the 10th month, finally, it was Esther's turn to go in to the king's room, and he knew right away that she was the one and that just he loved her the most. he made that known and just didn't have to think twice about it. But so he decided to make her the new queen, and she became Queen Esther, replacing, as we heard in the first chapter, replacing the queen that was then, which was Vashti, because she denied the king, but Esther did not. So yeah, we see all that go down. We see her become queen. We see that King Ahasuerus again throws another party. He likes to party, but he threw this feast for specifically Queen Esther because she's his new wife. And why not celebrate that, you know? So yeah, and in the last section of this chapter, it just talks about Mordecai discovering a plot. I just want to read it to you guys because it's kind of hard to explain, so I feel like it would be better if I just read it and then try to say something about it. But it's verse 19 to 23. So it says, "Now when the virgins were gathered together the second time, Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. Esther had not made known her kindred of her people, as Mordecai had commanded her, for Esther obeyed Mordecai just as when she was brought up by him." So that just is showing us that usually Esther doesn't second guess Mordecai, and she always just follows his commands because he's raised her, and it's not like her uncle anymore, it's like her father. So that's what's happening there. And in those days, as Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigthan and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs, who guard the threshold, became angry and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. And this came to the knowledge of Mordecai, and he told it to the queen Esther, and Esther told the king in the name of Mordecai. So we see there that Mordecai finds out that these two men are going to seeking to attack the king Ahasuerus. So Mordecai tells Esther to tell him, and she listens because she wants to obey him. So when the affair was investigated and found to be so, the men were both hanged on the gallows, and it was recorded in the book of the Chronicles in the presence of the king. So we just see that these two men are going to go against their king, but Mordecai steps in and saves the day and makes sure that King Ahasuerus knows about it. I'm just going to guess probably because he wants his daughter to be successful and be in this palace and be a queen. And if he would die, then she would probably be released from that. But that's just my opinion. But I know that this might be a little confusing for you guys. I'm sorry, still trying it out. So hopefully I made some bit of sense, and that you guys took something from it, learned something. I know I definitely did. I didn't know anything about these people, so I'm glad that I have a sense about Esther and Mordecai and King Ahasuerus. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully this video quality like this is better. Shout out to my boy Landon for hooking me up with I don't even know, just hooking me up with moving my phone this way instead was up and down. So hopefully the fits better and everything. So I just thank you guys for listening, and peace out.